it's set for the opening faceoff. Derek Brassard and John Madden go head-to-head as we begin play, and Madden wins the draw. And tonight's game brought to you in spectacular high definition by Buckeye Auto Glass. Clearing pass for Umberger in front of the Columbus bench. Dump back here for Russell. Russell steps out of his own zone from center, now flips in and retreats to that left point as Huey slides ahead to Yarmelson. Jackets on the turnover. Voracek behind the net. Jake Voracek on for Commodore. Pad save. Huey. Goal mouth pass and scores! Mike Commodore tried to throw it in front, and the shaky Huey puts it into his own net.
Mike Commodore's first goal of the campaign, and right from the get-go, transition through the neutral zone. They work it low. Commodore comes in, sets a little pinch, and he fires it from the goal line. And you're exactly right. A shaky Huey gives up goal number 1 tonight. They make it a 1-0 game. That's a huge goal to get the crowd involved, Jeff.
That is our Time Warner Cable goal replay. Exactly the kind of start the Jackets were looking for. Getting that first goal early. And again, Huey, who has not played since the 13th of the month. In part due to his play, in part due to an illness. But not the kind of start that Joel Quenneville was looking from his goaltender. 1-0 Columbus. Commodore from Umberger and Voracek. And for Jake Voracek, that's points in 5 of the last 6. 5 points in the last 6. 3 of them are goals. Patrick Kane along the far boards. Taves, the captain of the Hawks, attempts to clear Andrew Murray. Keeps it in, firing it high, where Huey will leave it there for Henry. Chicago march out of their own zone. Joel Quenneville saying these final 10 games, he wants his club working on getting ready for the upcoming playoffs. But as we said in the open tonight, what has to be established is their goaltending. No question, they've got the offense. They certainly have got the kind of blue line that can lead them. But in goal, that is the question mark.
When you rank 3rd in offense and 4th in defense, that's all you have to say. It's going to have to be the goaltenders in the net that certainly proved worthy if they're going to have success.
And how important is goaltending in the playoffs, Bill?
Well, that's what it's all about.
Exactly.
You can have a goaltender not only steal a game, but he can steal the entire series if they become hot.
Fraser, jersey number 46, given an opportunity to play tonight. Bolin, the late scratch, suffering the effects of the flu, not in the lineup. So Fraser moves in, and Kopetsky moves up to the second line alongside Hossa and Patrick Sharp. Jackets from a distance. Stroman throws it behind the net. Nash tried to get a stick on it. Brent Seabrook back in the lineup, having just returned the other night against Phoenix after the hit by Wisniewski of the Anaheim Ducks. Much discussed hit, I might add. Puck fired high and wide. Duncan Keith in pursuit. And we get a battle going along the far boards. That's Burish and Dorsett. Adam Burish and Derek Dorsett. Dorsett throwing them with both hands right now.
I don't think this is exactly what Claude Noel would like to have from Dorsett, especially with his hands. Again, he's had trouble with that right hand, but it isn't holding this kid back. We talk about a pack mentality. That's what has to happen. Guys like Dorsett with Bowl out. Burst trying to basically make a name. He has been out most of the year, back in the lineup. And Dorsett sends a loud message on behalf of his team here tonight. And this is how it got started. You people looking at home, knowing that they want to be able to change the complexion of the game so early. It's exactly what the Hawks do. Burish comes out. Here's how it goes. Dorsett goes in, finishes off the check. Oh, and then a high stick underneath Dorsett. He gives it back, and then Burish drops the first one. But we're going to agree to disagree. Burish doing his job, and Dorsett doing a nice job counter-punching with Burish. And like I say, the concern with both guys, a guy like Bowl and a guy like Dorsett, being able to throw him back when you've got a bad hand like that. That was just the end of that last goal by Mike Commodore. 32 seconds into this game.
Boy, Huey is having difficulty hanging on to that hockey puck. He is fighting it.
Here's a look at that last goal. From below the goal line, here's where it ends up coming through. Off of the inside right skate of Hue. And that's what you want to be able to have, a little puck luck early in the game.
So 5 each for fighting, and the teams remain at full strength.
I just hate, I'll be honest, I hate to see number 15 fighting, Jeff. Again, knowing his hand, every day he's got it taped up. It is not 100%, but that's the type of guy this is. It doesn't matter what happens. If somebody's going, he wants to set precedent early in this game. Later on in the game, you walk away from something like that, but right now you want the crowd more involved.
Exactly. Jackets certainly will miss Jared Bull. Dorsett steps up here early, but you're right, Bill. You want Dorsett in the game, and especially with Bull out. How about the Toyota Keys?
Well, you've got to match the Hawks, the pace and the checking. It is that playoff mentality that you would just mention, Jeff. You've got to come in here and match it. Secure the special teams. We'll get simple plays to the net. Stay out of the penalty box. Again, power play, struggling a little bit. Yeah, they're 0 for 19. And the penalty kill, they've given up 5 in the last 5 games. They really have to do a better job then, and then continue to get pucks. We've already, I think, got Hue back on his heels. Haunt him with more pucks from every angle.
You just saw the shot differential. The Hawks looking for their first shot. It's been all Columbus here. Up along the boards. Hossa Kopetsky throws it across the goal. Now Seabrook coming from the blue line, but couldn't get a stick on it. Vermette on for Russell. Hossa will pick it up along the far board. Hossa for Patrick Sharp. Shot blocked by Russell. Sharp on to Kopetsky. Hossa cruising in the high slot. Wants the puck. Now goes ahead. Plays it along the right wing. Hossa. Sharp one-timer. There's the first shot off the left pad of Mason. And Nash will send it out. And Duncan Keith paired with Seabrook. The two, a defensive pairing. And it's Keith on to Fraser, who's playing in the Olympic Games for Canada. And Keith and Seabrook. Shot there, sent wide of the net off the stick of Boynton. Hawks change on the fly. Eager looks in front. Jackets keep it wide of the Columbus net. Reaching for it there and holding on is Mason as he sees the shot from the point.
Well, the other night against the Phoenix Coyotes, Joel Quenneville came in, and it was a premeditated speech against the Phoenix Coyotes for his team. He said it's the biggest game of the year, guys. Before they went on to win 2-0. They want them to have that playoff mentality, and they want it to start that night. So they responded. But the thing is, Jeff, now he can't go back and use that same line again, because that was the most important game, especially a 4-point game against a team that's trying to also win the Western Conference.
Well, certainly the Coyotes are the story as far as the surprise team in the National Hockey League. But a lot expected from the Chicago Hockey Club during the course of the season, and obviously ditto for the playoffs. But goaltending will certainly be their key. Right side, here's Nash. Nash steps in across the line, protects that puck, drops it back for Vermette. Gloving it and holding on is Hue. Well, enter the Nationwide Insurance Fandemonium Sweepstakes, and you could carry the flag from the comfort of your own home in the ultimate Blue Jackets rec room. The grand prize package includes a 65-inch high-def TV, 2 leather chairs, and much, much more. To enter Nationwide Insurance Fandemonium Sweepstakes and read official rules, visit BlueJacketsFans.com and visit it today.
Looking at face-offs of both teams, you always like to send that statistic out. The Jackets 7th in the league. Chicago Blackhawks, one of the top 3 in the National Hockey League.
Puck knocked down, played by Brouwer, playing on that top line with Taves and King. Brouwer certainly creates some room. Physical presence up on that wing. Outlet pass for Clark, chipped ahead. Paulson unable to get a stick on it, and the thought will try again. Getter Tootin, and that one fired off the Columbus bench and no further play. Exclusive savings, exclusive value, exclusive access. Yes, it's all part of being a Blue Jacket season ticket holder. Get the lowest price per game plus food, parking, and merchandise discounts. Visit BlueJackets.com tonight. Chat with a ticket representative for more details on full season 20 or 10-game plans.
R.J. Umberger taking the face-offs in his defensive zone, something that Brassard's going to continue to work on.
One man back, Brassard across the line. Brassard waits. Brassard nullified there by the stick check of Boyton. Umberger tried to feed Brassard. Jackets attempt to keep it in the zone. That's Kopetsky pressured onto Hossa. How about Marian Hossa? 5 points in the season series, playing only 3 of the 4 games. He has 20 points in 14 games against Columbus. Hossa with 12 goals. 12 of those 20 points goals. And here he is across the line. Hossa, the wrist shot. Stick to side. R.J. Umberger, left wing. Clearing pass picked up here by Brassard. He's first across the line. Voracek on the wing takes it. Cross ice feed. Look at Commodore jump up in the play. 1 goal tonight. He's not going to give up here. Commodore certainly skating a lot better, Bill, than he has at any point in this season.
Well, he's starting to grow into his body a little bit after the flu, after the hip flexor, after the Charlie horse, and after a conditioning stint during the Olympic Games. It's good to see him back on the ice and starting to produce.
Huselius passes it in. Bufflin playing on the blue line in the absence of a couple of defensemen. Janssen and, of course, Brian Campbell. Campbell not expected back for 7 weeks.
I like the big man back there. Again, right now, playing about a little over 15 minutes a game. Playing back on the D, I would tend to bet he will be up around that 17-20 mark each and every night.
And talking to the coaching staff early on this morning here at the arena, look for Bufflin on their power play point.
He could shoot the puck.
They really like Bufflin. And now they're talking about him being their quarterback on the point on the power play. Here, Clark with a shot that's blocked. Broken up. Hawks through the neutral zone. Brower across the line, wrists it wide of the net. Mafat plays it off the back wall. Patrick King reaching for it. Brower for Kane. Watch out. And it's Chris Clark. The defensive play gets it ahead here to Paulson. Left wing. Here comes Andrew Murray. Murray with a shot. Huey's got it. The puck melts up into that equipment, and he will hold on. 7:40 gone. Opening period. The early goal by Commodore. And the and that prohibits a lateral back pressure or blind side hit to an opponent where the head is targeted and or the principal point of contact. Under the new rule bill, the National Hockey League's Hockey Operations Department is empowered to review any such hit with the purpose of supplementary discipline.
Surprising to me. And again, this is a personal comment, not dealing with anything with the Columbus Blue Jackets. I am saying, how many other sports change a rule or add a rule throughout the course of the season? I think when you look at that, take some time. Let the players sit in and talk about it. And the end result, look at everything before a rule is in place. But then, and that's coming from a personal bias on my behalf.
Dorsett, having just served his major penalty along with Burish, one of the Hawks go after him immediately here. And Dorsett has quickly become a target. There's about 3 Blackhawks that wanted a piece of him, and Dorsett's not going to back away. See, Seabrook is in there. Duncan Keith is in there. And take a look how this thing all started.
You said he was earmarked. You come in, you throw a check. It's the end result after where Seabrook comes in, Dorsett comes in, gets the stick up around that neck area. And we'll see how they divide this one up. And everybody else coming in just wants a little piece of Mr. Dorsett tonight. Like the feistiness of this hockey team.
Bill, I respect your opinion and your point's well taken, but the only thing is you do not, and I understand what the National Hockey League and the players have agreed to do here, you do not want to have open season on hits to the head here and wait until the offseason to make a move. It needed to be made now to protect the players from themselves.
The game's been played for 85 years. It's lasted this long. We can wait another month. Well, here's the play. You watch Dorsett up on the left side coming in, gets the legs moving. A little bit of a charge, keeps the legs going, and Seabrook comes in just to let him know that Dorsett has got a little fire going right now, Jeff. He collects a minor penalty. On behalf of the referee staff, that's a good penalty to call.
So, Chicago on the power play. They are 5 for 14 in the season series. And Taves has 3 of those 5 power play goals. A roughing minor assessed to Dorsett. That's Brouwer below the goal line. Commodore finishing his check. And Duncan Keith back in Chicago territory. Keith on to Hossa. Cross ice pass off the stick of Brouwer. Jackets moving ahead. Nash gets away from Duncan Keith. A breakaway shorthanded. Walks in, denied. The sprawling lateral save made by Huet. And what do we got here but a penalty to Duncan Keith? No penalty shot because Nash got a shot away, but Duncan Keith's going off. And hooking is the call.
It's a good hook, but he got a shot off, but it's a good opportunity to score. I believe the officials feel that that was the case, but Huet comes up big. Rick trying to open him up, trying to go 5-hole. A minor penalty. They'll play 4-on-4 hockey right now with Dorsett still in the penalty box for 1:14.
From the draw, 4-on-4. This is Versteeg. Sprints through and across the line. Mathot defending. 3 Jackets converge, and it's Russell. The outlet pass for Voracek. All kinds of open ice for Jake Voracek, who has really picked it up in the speed department here of late. Puck taken away by Bufflin. Walks in front of his own net. Dustin Bufflin skates away, paired here with Yarmulson. Out to center. Right wing feed across the line. Mathot defending in front. Here's Bufflin. Dustin Bufflin fires it in, saved by Mason, and he will hold on as we approach the midway point of this opening period, and a spirited start to this hockey game. Time Warner Cable and FoxSportsOhio.com present Blog Sports Ohio, the ultimate tournament to decide who has Ohio's best sports blog. Log on to FoxSportsOhio.com, click on the Blog Sports Ohio link, and get the details on how you can enter for your chance to be named Ohio's best sports blogger. Plus, you'll win access to Fox Sports Ohio's teams, a laptop, a digital voice recorder, and much, much more.
You like the energy of this game so far. Jackets come out, they get the early goal, they've set precedent being physical. Number 15, Derek Dorsett, he's the leader of the pack.
No question about it. You know, talking about Dorsett here, and now in the absence of Jared Bull, Claude Noel talking about Bull, says, I really liked his game over the last couple of weeks. He brings a certain element, but it's more than that certain element that he brings, and he will be missed, and there's no question about that. Out right now, some say for quite some time, but the Jackets are saying right now it's day-to-day, but not likely to play this weekend. Jackets here on Huntington Hat Night Saturday against the New York Islanders, and then Sunday in Chicago to return match here with these Blackhawks in the 6th and final regular season meeting.
That's why there's got to be a cast of characters stepping up, and it can't be number 15 now every shift coming out and setting precedent. There's a cast of others that can certainly help. The Mike Blundens, the Andrew Murray, Sammy Paulson, they can all get involved.
How about this guy? Christian Huselius through and across the line. Huselius hustles after it. 10 points in his last 5 games. 4 of them are goals. Zone cleared. 20 seconds remaining in the Duncan Keith penalty. And the Jackets abbreviated first power play of the night. Strallman. Lead pass. Nash goes off his stick. Columbus 0 for the last 22 on the power play over the last 6 games coming into tonight's game. Their last power play goal was here against Atlanta on the 11th of March. 2 Jackets collide, and Chicago walk in. Teams back at full strength. Keith heads off to the bench. Now Umberger down that left side. Long lead feed. Dorsett trying to walk to the front of the net. Yarmulson defends, does a pretty good job. And now Bufflin hits Patrick Sharp with a perfect feed. Sharp across the line, deals it on the wing for Kopecky. Kopecky is shot from a sharp angle. It goes off the net. Yarmulson looking for Kopecky. Loose puck picked up by Derek Brassard. Brassard now out of his own zone. Brassard first across the line. Wrist shot blocked by Yarmulson. Following it through there is Brassard. Now with it behind the net. Dorsett looking, and he's in front as Klitzum lets a shot go that's blocked. And the outlet pass knocked down by Klitzum, intended there for Versteeg.
And that's his strength, Jeff. Coming in from that point position, he's got a good release off of that one-timer.
Here. White, long lead feed there. On for Madden, and icing is the call.
You want energy? Well, it's a bundle of fire right now with number 15, and this is how this game started. And this was early here, period number 1. That drew a minor penalty. Little added flair is a charge through the neutral zone. That each and every shift that he comes out, isn't anybody that loves to play the game anymore than number 15, Derek Dorsey.
He's a gamer. And you've seen that in evidence here tonight through the first 10 minutes plus.
Well, the best from the West, maybe Chicago in the standings, but little Derek Dorsey is one of the best from the West as well.
The native of Saskatchewan, Kindersley, Saskatchewan to be exact. Cross ice pass. Nash goal mode scores. Who's serious? It's 2-0 Jackets.
The juice was let loose as he was on that back door. And how about that pass by Rick Nash finding Christian Huselius? It's usually the reversal. Huselius usually the playmaker. Well, this time going to the middle of the net. A nice play. Good play by Vermette. The patience of Nash, and then the ability to find Huselius coming in on his forehand for the one-timer. As Huet was out, Huselius does the rest in being able to put it away. For Christian Huselius, that is goal number 22 of the campaign.
And his 5th goal and 11th point in the last 6 games. So the Jackets have stormed to a 2-0 lead on goals by Commodore. 32 seconds in, and here at 12:08, Huselius, Rick Nash picks up the first assist, Antoine Vermette the second. Vermette coming off a 2-point performance in that loss at New Jersey with a goal and an assist. Henry hands the puck ahead here to Brouwer. Patrick Kane along the near board. It has been all Columbus in this opening period. Taves, wraparound attempt, sails wide, up high Henry, chips to the goal line. Brouwer looking in the high slot there for Kane. Jackets got enough to steer it out of the zone. Boynton trying to catch Columbus on a line change, tried to feed Brouwer, couldn't cradle the pass, and as a result, Jackets able to walk out, and Chicago change up. Jake Voracek chops it to the left wing board. Backhanded Broussard looking for R.J. Umberger. Duncan Keith. Seabrook. Right wing for Burish. Klitzum. Paired here with Stralman. Anton Stralman. Offensively, not where he was earlier on in the season. And the talk that Stralman playing really his first full season in the National Hockey League. And has certainly learned a lot. Jackets looking for a lot from him. Stralman's going to get a penalty here for interference. And Chicago will go to the power play. When we come back, it'll be the Hawks' second. The first one, Kutch. 2 seconds in, his first of the year, and he is the subject of our Corona timeout. Bill.
Yeah, how about it? His first goal in the last 74 games. Last one against Carolina. First car. How about that supreme favorite spot? Las Vegas. Single guy. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. There's the penalty. We were just talking about Anton Stralman, Jeff. Offensively, a little dip from the way he has started. And as you also mentioned, this is really his first full year in the league.
Kane throws it back here to Hossa. Cross ice feed. Duncan Keith back for Hossa. Keith lets one go. Shot blocked there by Umberger. Right back to Keith. Far side, Tootin in pursuit. Duncan Keith forced to take a penalty on Chicago's first power play as Rick Nash sprinted down that left wing. Keith trailing. Nash got the shot off, but a minor penalty for hooking to Duncan Keith nonetheless. And here Nash again is able to send it down. 5:40 left, opening period. 2-0. Jackets lead as Kane throws it cross ice. Andrew Ladd picks it up on that right wing. Original draft pick, 6th overall of the Carolina Hurricanes. Duncan Keith had it knocked away. Vermette unable to play it. Keith paired here with Hossa. Keith hammers in. Up along the near wall. Hawks trying to get it back to the point. Nobody there. Bufflin had just come on. And he'll retrieve the puck in his own zone. He's out there with Seabrook now. 45 seconds of power play time remain for Chicago. Jackets gave up 3 power play goals of the Devils on Tuesday night. Yesterday, they worked on special teams, power play and penalty killing. Buffalo unable to keep it in. Pressure coming from Clark. Here's Patrick Sharp. Deals to Versteeg. Versteeg drops it back, and again it goes between the two Chicago blue liners on the power play unit. Hawks, Versteeg. Final seconds of the power play. Seabrook able to kick it ahead and keep it in. Versteeg on the right wing boards. Commodore defending. Lost his stick. Turns Patrick Sharp around. Sharp, quick feed. The point for Seabrook. Bufflin with a one-timer, but getting in front of that with a heads-up defensive play was Paulson. As you see, Stroman stepping out. Jackets kill it off.
They do a nice job taking away the space and then the overall time. Not much time right now for the Hawks to react.
Chicago has had 2 power play opportunities. They've yet to register a shot at Mason in either one. Duncan Keith sweeps it in. There's Commodore with a quick clear, and it's out to center. Less than 4 minutes left in this opening period as Duncan Keith playing a little catch here right now. Keith for King. The leading point getter across the line, goes wide on Klitzen. Hangs onto that puck from the right wing boards. Keith to the goal line. Taves walks out in front. Mason held his own. Boynton, the point for Keith. On here to Patrick King. Duncan Keith, top of the circle. Throws it in front. Comes right back to him from Klitzen. Keith hammered along the boards. Here's Boynton with a shot. Gloved and held by Mason. 3:20 left. A spirited first period. Jackets, if you've joined us late with goals from Commodore.
Goal. Murph, what does your hockey team need to do to keep this game at the pace at which your team would like to play?
Well, we got to continue to do what we're doing right now. I think we're paying attention to details. We're working extremely hard. We're checking well. We're playing responsible, and we've obviously capitalized on a couple chances we've had. So I just like to see us continue with the same energy in the same way.
Okay, thanks, Murph.
Thank you.
Remember, for more Jackets in-depth coverage, all you have to do is visit foxsportsohio.com. All right, guys, up to you.
Since Claude Noel has taken over, his idea of speed and pace has been the #1 thing in every practice. Tonight, they started this hockey game. They get a couple of goals, and then the question is, can they continue to maintain that for the next 2 periods?
Nash down the right wing to center. Across the line, pulls up, steps away from Keith. Patrick Sharp is there. Nash works against Kopetsky. Now cycling. This is Huselius. Dances free. Huselius with a shot that's blocked by Seabrook. Backhanded and out. Sharp down that right wing. Pulls up in front of Mathot. Hands the puck here to Kopetsky. Lets it go off the backboard. Swept away by Mason. And Kopetsky gets another free shot there that Mason's able to turn aside. Huselius. Check by Patrick King. Huselius down on the ice. Looking there for Hossa. Keith off the point. Steps away from the thought. Taves. Hawks captain, jersey number 19. Huselius with the steal. And Nash sends it into Chicago territory. Wide of the goaltender Huey. And it's icing with 2:05 left. Well, Jacket fans, it's Huntington Hat Night. Saturday as the Jackets host the New York Islanders at 7. First chance to see John Tavares, the #1 overall pick last June. All fans receive a hat courtesy of Huntington Bank. Great seats available. Buy yours right now at BlueJackets.com. Nice hat on Hat Night, presented by Huntington.
Now Claude Noel's going to take his time out. That last shift, Christian Huselius worked down low, and he was matched up against Taves. He had Kane down below. With Huselius working with the defense, usually that's Vermette. Right now, Huselius bent over at the waist. He needs a little bit of a break, and as soon as the coach sees that, it's better to take that time out. 2 minutes and 5 seconds left in period #1. I think there's a real smart play by the coaching staff.
Jackets had the first 5 shots. Since then, Chicago's come back with 10 to Columbus's 4, but the Jackets lead 2-0. And where they're really leading is in the hit department. They have out-hit the visiting Blackhawks 12-2 here in this opening period.
They want to be able to right now continue to play their game, and they've had a good first period of hockey. Chicago Blackhawks are a team that do not like to share the puck. They Jackets puck management, especially now in their own zone, critical for the last 2 minutes of the period.
And to quote the Jackets coach, he said this morning, we really need a good checking game. He's got that here for most of this first period. As you point out, Bill, it's a 60-minute game at least.
Well, people think, too, when you're checking, it's all physical play where you're just basically hitting everybody. No, it's not the case. Claude Noel has been working with his team to utilize the legs, being able to catch up, and then be able to angle off with the use of the stick as well as the use of the body.
Buffalo chops it ahead, played there by Kane. Taves knocked down. Jackets, Huselius on for Nash. Columbus will change up here now as Nash dumps in. McFott slides it up the far boards. Tootin looking behind the net. Paulson unable to get a stick on it. Chris Clark steps up away from Taves. Loose puck. Garmelson looking for Taves. But the puck ends up in neutral ice and McFott. Hands it cross ice. Tootin looking for Andrew Murray, knocks it out of the air. Murray trying to chip it ahead. Hawks on the turnover. This is Ben Eager. Held in check by Paulson, and Tootin's on the puck quickly as Fraser steps into him. Andrew Murray able to chop it down. Duncan Keith gets there well ahead of Jake Voracek. On for Seabrook. Final minute of play in this opening period. Seabrook. Right wing feed. That's Adam Burrish. Can't control it. Klitzon's got it. Grant Klitzon reversing. Deals to the far side. And it's right back here for Anton Stralman. Two Hawks converge. Voracek. Left wing Brassard. The trailer here. Klitzon. On comes Umberger with a backhand. That's blocked by Duncan Keith. Looking for Voracek in front. Seabrook finishing a check there. Fraser slips and falls. Slid in behind the net where Keith will scoop it up. Duncan Keith waits as Chicago change up here on the fly. Patrick Sharp from center drills it high and wide, takes a wicked bounce. Kopetsky with a golden opportunity, but the puck bounced over his hockey stick. Hit a stanchion behind the net, walked right back in front. Kopetsky had it lined up, but it bounced in front of him. And that's it as far as an impressive start to the hockey game, and a standing ovation for the Jackets with their 20-minute performance.
Well, you wanted to match the pace of this Hawk team. Well, the Jackets set the pace. They set the checking, and they again lead this period number one by 2 goals. On goals by Commodore and Huselius. It's a way to start it.
Chicago outshoot the Jackets 10-9. But on the scoreboard, it's Columbus 2. Visiting Chicago, no score in a spirited opening period of play.
You score a goal. It's been a while, 74 games. And for Christian Huselius, he continues to add up the points. Each night, he and that score sheet have become friends as of late.
Osa unable to get a stick on it. Vermette chops it back. Russell, Commodore. Loose puck in neutral ice. Vermette had his pocket picked here by Hossa. Across the line. Deals it on the wing. Sharp attempt from a sharp angle. And it sails all the way back into the Chicago zone. Here. This is Hossa. Hossa's shot blocked. Follows it up. And Mason got it just with a little bit of that blocker. And he's able to clear. Bouncing puck on end as Duncan Keith finds his defensive mate. Seabrook back for Keith. Minute plus gone. Second period. Puck steered down that right wing. Hossa late in the shift. Hossa gets an arm around Russell. Jackets moving up the wall, but not out. Henry. A cross ice pass there. Off the stick of Huselius Boynton, who was the intended receiver of that cross ice pass. Will get it here right now and quickly moves to the offensive blue line. Ben Eager. R.J. Umberger. Umberger with Versteeg defending. John Madden, jersey number 11. Hawks talk about what he means defensively for the team. There's Umberger with a couple of attempts there at Huey. Stralman looking for Umberger. Cut off. Henry. Henry pressured by Jake Voracek. Puck knocked free and it's played by Boynton. 2 minutes plus gone. The clearing pass picked up by Madden at center. Slips and falls. Versteeg follows through. Versteeg with a shot. Scores! Stick side. Versteeg gets the Hawks on the board with a wrist shot. It's 2-1.
Well, that's a quick shot. And that was close at that offensive blue line when that puck became available. Looked like it might have been offside. We'll get a chance to see it in the replay, but Versteeg right now is 17th of the season for Chris Versteeg, and a nice quick release. Let's take a look at that blue line and see what we have. You see the puck. Versteeg has it. He comes across the line. Well, that's good. No, that is good. That's perfect. That's a good look, guys, from the truck. But Versteeg does the left, or does the rest, as Mason, he loses his angle, begins to slide just a little bit, beat him on the high stick side. Who'd say this for Versteeg? 17th for the campaign.
So Chicago get on the board here early on in the second period.
Blackhawks goal scored by 32 Versteeg.
And Madden and Boynton draw the assist.
On the goal, 214.
Well, here's another look at that last goal. Good play by Versteeg. Excellent play by Eager. He's crisscrossing, trying to really deflect the attention of that lone defenseman back there in that 2-on-1, but Versteeg does the rest.
Brower. Fraser. Chipped off the wall to the point, but not out. And as Keith tried to send it high off the glass, it finds the crowd and a lucky souvenir. Well, Sunday, NASCAR on Fox moves to Martinsville, where Jimmy Johnson will try to defend his title and take home the checkered flag for the second straight year. Coverage of Sprint Cup Series racing, presented by Nationwide Insurance from Martinsville, begins Sunday at 12 p.m. in high definition, only on Fox. Andrew Murray tosses it up the near corner. Buffalo gets there quickly. Puck thrown in front, goes off the stick of Huet. And the Hawks sweep it down 200 feet where Mason will leave it there from afar. Patrick Sharp, far side with the steal. Sharp protects that puck. Mathot drops him to the ice. On for Andrew Murray with a backhand feed. Knocked down. Murray to the point. Sharp will pick it up. Away goes Patrick Kane. Darts down the right side. Kane protecting that puck, throws a backhand cross ice. Sharp to the point. Yarmulson. Shot sent wide. Well, Sharp has moved up onto the top line here with Taves and Kane. Brower moving down to the fourth line with Fraser. Joel Quenneville kind of shakes things up, makes some adjustments here for period number 2.
Well, they're looking to create a little bit more offense. Stymied in period number 1, but they come out with a galore here right now in this second period. And it all starts with puck possession. Chicago Blackhawks, it's what they've been known to be able to do here this year with their defensive core setting precedent.
Well, as Claude Noel said this morning, not really a secret. This team with 99 points on the season. We know about their ability to score goals. Commodore. Huselius. Nash. Huselius with a wrist shot. Huet never saw it. The puck was in the corner before he realized it had gone wide.
Nice play by Seabrook.
Here comes Hossa the other way. Drops it back. Shot. Rebound. In front. Mason able to steer that aside. And away goes Nash. Huselius sprints down the right side. Nash never saw him. Crosses the line. Feeds Huselius. Right back to Nash. Nash circles the net. Wraparound attempt. And Huet got the stick. And that right pad on it. Huselius sweeps to the point. Jackets change up on the fly. Puts him for Paulson. Paulson throws it in front, goes right back after it. Huselius takes a high stick. Here's Stralman with a wrist shot. Score! Huselius got a stick on it in front of the net, and the Jackets have gone back out in front by 2. Stralman shot from the point, I believe, redirected by Huselius for his second of the night and 23rd of the year.
That's what you want to have, and that's the no quit. Here as of late, Christian Huselius has found a home down in front of the blue of the crease, and this is a pure example of being able to stay there, finding space. Stralman head up, keeps the puck down on the ice, and a good little deflection in between Keith and Seabrook. That's his 23rd of the season, and the Jackets have taken a 3-1 lead.
So we'll wait for it officially, but I definitely think from here that Huselius got the stick on it and redirected it by Huet. 5 minutes plus gone. Time permitting, we'll get a look at the overhead. A definitive look at the Jackets. More importantly, show no quit, come right back after the Hawks get on the board. Henry down that right side, steps away from Blunden. Dorsett, Blunden, and Paige up front. Jackets going without Jared Bull. There's Ben Eager dropping Klitzen. Blunden through and across the line up on that left wing. Mike Blunden, a one-time Blackhawk. Voracek dump. Blunden will finish a check on the far side. Hawks will chip it off the wall, and it's Versteeg who dumps it deep. Chicago change up on the fly. Up high, but not out. Brouwer now from the right wing board. That's deflected wide off the stick of Fraser. Brouwer is dropped there by Feder Tooten. Broussard. Here, Tooten. Right wing feed at center. Umberger trying to get to it. Voracek did first. Burish takes Voracek to the wall. R.J. Umberger up high. Good hit there in open ice. Mathot on Taves, and Mathot is hitting every white jersey he can find.
We would like to see that right now. Just the reaction of the Blue Jackets being able to come back. And here's a look at the overhead of that last goal. Jeff, you were concerned about, did Huselius get a stick on it? And there's a good example of having the stick down on the ice right through the 5-hole of UA. As we mentioned, that is Huselius' 23rd of the season. Give him a 2-goal lead.
Well, the off-ice officials here are obviously viewing our replays, and it is now definite. Certainly looked at it from up here. We called it on the play-by-play, and we should be hearing momentarily from the off-ice officials that indeed Huselius has his second of the night and 23rd of the season. But it was a Stralman shot from the point, as we described it, that was redirected, and Huselius has got 2 on the night. And how about points? That's 12 points in the last 6 games.
He has been hot.
Chris Clark can't get anywhere. Taves, in turn, had his pocket picked by Clark. Racing after it here is Andrew Murray. Murray dumps behind Clark. Tried to feed Murray. Far side. Jackets restoring a 2-goal lead, which was their lead after 20 minutes of play. The teams have traded single goals here in the second.
Not many odd man rushes through the course of this hockey game. It opened up a little bit in period number 1. Nash had a great opportunity. It started off in this second period. And this is where Claude Noel would like to be able to have his team regain their poise, get themselves back to getting the pace. The physical play, it is here.
Here's Hossa, right side. Marian Hossa in front for Sharp, and a glove save made by Mason. 12:24 left. 3-1, Jackets lead.
By Rick Nash as well as Vermette. They find him on that backside. Where's he going? He goes to the middle of the net. The next one, when the puck does go high to Stralman, he lets it go. There, where is he? Down near the blue of the crease again. You get a stick on it. 5-hole against UA. 2 goals on the night. 3-1 lead. Let's hope it can continue right now as this game continues to be physical. Certainly fun to watch.
Duncan Keith drills it wide of the net. Seabrook in off the point. Russell comes up with the puck nonetheless. Kopetsky circles the net, throws it into the slot. Quick shot, pad save, rebound. Now they'll give me the goal to Stralman here in the building, but that'll be changed.
Time to go. 4:58.
Here, Nash fires it in front. Huselius looking for the hat trick. Unable to get a stick on it there.
4:58.
Hossa plays it in his own zone. Off the stick of Nash. And it's picked up here by Duncan Keith. Seabrook. Taves off the wall, goes right back after it himself as Tooten clears. Seabrook away from Paulson, hands it back to Taves. Sent ahead, Sharp and Kane out there, along with Jonathan Taves. And there's Mathot, able to send it back out. Bufflin, Darmelson, Dustin Bufflin, who started his career as a defenseman. The last couple of years he played up front, but back with the injuries to Campbell and Janssen. Well, he's back on the blue line, and the Hawks are certainly happy with his play. Taves turned around. Patrick Kane. Here. Paulson. Down the left wing, out to center. Paulson across the line, hands it there to Chris Clark. Puck rifled in high and wide. Taves heads to the bench. Bufflin plays it up along the far boards. Dumps behind for Patrick. Sharp into the slot. Shot and a save off the stick of Madden by Mason from point blank range. Well, we're going to magnify the shot overhead where you can see definitively that Huselius gets, there it is, that's the Huselius stick to redirect it. And as the stick motion indicates, the puck was touched, and it goes 5-hole on Hugh. Incidentally, they've credited the goal in the building to Anton Strawman, but it'll be changed.
Well, they have Strawman with Paulson adding an assist, but now it should read Huselius from Paulson and Strawman. Strawman, the guy letting the shot go.
Well, Strawman should get that first assist. Paulson the second. The goal should be credited to Huselius. But thus far, the off-ice officials have gone the other way. We reached the midway point of the second period and the hockey game as Hugh will leave it there for Hendrick. Far side, cut off there by Broussard. Into the slot. Dorsett got an initial shot off. Hugh all over that goal mouth. Now just getting back to his feet, was able to turn aside that last shot.
That's where the Jackets right now, they are peppering the goaltender Hugh. 17 on the game, and right now they're shooting from every angle.
He does not look comfortable, does he?
He had a tough night against Philadelphia back on March the 13th, and it's carried over here. They need to get him going, though. That's why Joel Quenneville said that's why he's going tonight. And the Emmy has been the #1 guy.
A decision will be made shortly by Chicago going into the playoffs. I think Joel Quenneville said last 5 games he's going to go with the guy that he thinks is going to lead them in the playoffs. The Emmy recording his 6th shutout against Phoenix the other night. Mason got a piece of that one. Jackets move it up high and out. Jarlsson defended. Here's a steal of Voracek. A breakaway. Walks in, hold down. That's a penalty shot. And it is. Jake Voracek gets a penalty shot as he's hauled down. He did not get a shot away. Impeded his progress. As a result, unlike the Nash play in the opening period, when Nash was hooked, he got a quality shot away. But look at this.
Well, the only thing they didn't do was get the rope out and tie up the ankles. What a play right there. Again, Voracek trying to get the speed going through that neutral zone. Jarlsson gets the stick in the up and around that arm area. And let's watch the youngster shine. There isn't anybody that loves the one-on-one any more than this guy in the locker room.
Here comes Voracek now. Jake Voracek crossed the line. Backing up, shoots and scores. Penalty shot goal. That's for Voracek, his first penalty shot goal of the National Hockey League. And the exciting youngster has really stepped up his game. That's his 5th goal in the last 8 games. He has struggled to score. He went a long time, 23 games without a goal, but makes no mistake here on Hugh.
Well, tonight, goals and an assist. He's got points in 5 of the last 6 games. 4 goals and 2 assists in the last 6 for a point a game. Jake Voracek continues to grow as a young man. Just turned 21 years of age. He is something else, Jeff. Again, we've been able to watch his speed, his size. Can you imagine 3 or 4 years from now when he starts to grow into his body? He is going to be something special.
14th goal of the season. Jake Voracek on a penalty shot. Nash on for Huselius. And now you start to wonder, does Quenneville make a goaltending change?
I think you've got to write it out. I really do. I think Joel Quenneville realizes right now he needs to get this guy some work. You want to be able to maybe take him out for a couple of shifts, or as time goes on, give him a chance to regroup and say, hey, listen, you're going right back in. You've got to get your game back, and the only way you're going to get it is by playing.
Osa, wrist shot, sails wide. Osa behind the net. One thing for sure, though, the Jackets cannot sit back on their laurels. This hockey team, the Chicago club, and they're going to get a power play here now as Hugh makes his way out of the net. 6th skater comes on. They can score. And the Jackets have got to be aware of it. When we come back, a Chicago power play with a hooking penalty assessed to the Jackets. And the power play.
Steph, what do you preach with this 4-1 lead, other than, of course, killing off this upcoming power play to protect the lead against such a high-octane team as the Hawks?
Well, you know, we don't want to do anything different. Right now, we got a really good balance of making plays and getting puck deep. We're making great decisions, so we certainly don't want to get on our heels and get defensive, but, you know, we want to make sure that we're playing the right way.
Okay, thanks, Gary.
My pleasure.
Guys, up to you.
They want to be aggressive on this penalty kill. They're 0 for 1 right now on the power play are the Chicago Blackhawks. The Jackets the last time did not allow a shot.
They're actually 0 for 2. That first power play was abbreviated. This is their third power play of the night.
Assist to number 6, Anton Strawman, and to number 26, Samuel Paulson. Time of the goal, 4:58.
The goal has been changed. It's Huselius from Strawman and Paulson, as it should be. And it is at 4:58 that the Jackets take a 3-1 lead, and then the penalty shot goal by Voracek makes it 4-1. And right now, Chicago on the power play. Buffalo keeps it in. There's Patrick Kane thrown in front. Hossa cannot control it. Taves off the wall. Puck play here by Buffalo. Taves, Buffalo lets one go. The screen in front. The initial save made by Mason. Had no idea where it went off the pad. And now Paulson skates it out to center. And Billy, on both the two previous power plays, the Jackets were not only able to kill them off, one abbreviated, but the Jackets got a scoring chance.
They were aggressive. That's what they've got to continue to do. You cannot afford, as Gary Agnew just reinforced, you can't afford to sit back. Continue to play your game with that pace and that high intensity.
Do you think yesterday, working on special teams, power play, penalty kill worked to their advantage?
I think it had a little bit of an effect. They spent a little bit, I guess close to an hour on it. One end, they were working on basic skills, driving the net, shooting from every angle. At the other end, it was power play and penalty kill.
Here on that wing, Andrew Ladd saved, rebound up high for Met. Got a glove on it, swept it to the corner. Duncan Keith cross ice, Nash pressuring. Jackets very aggressive on the kill here tonight. Now Versteeg in the final seconds. On to Duncan Keith. Right back for Versteeg. He has the goal. Passed it off instead of shooting. And the Hawks don't get anywhere. Tootin comes out of the box, and away down the left wing goes Vermette. Antoine Vermette fires and scores! Well, if he was wondering before about pulling his goaltender, he's going to do it right now. Cristobal Huet is going to take a seat. It's 5-1.
And for Antoine Vermette, that ties a career high in goals of 24. And that was sniped. That goes high glove from an angle. The defense goes down in Seabrook. And then when he lets it go, that beats Huet. He never had a chance. He never got an opportunity to move. And look at where that went. Right up over top of the glove. High glove. And Huet is making his way to the bench. And in comes Antiniemi. The Jackets have taken a 5-1 lead.
Well, that is the book on Huet, who not only leaves the ice surface, but leaves the arena and heads to the dressing room. High glove side is the book on Huet. And after the fifth goal, unassisted, Vermette with his 24th, Huet has been pulled. Miami with the shutout Tuesday over Phoenix. 6 on the year. And his club now trailed by 4.
Put them both together, they've got 10 on the year, which leads the National Hockey League, which tells you, beginning of this season, Huet playing some pretty solid hockey, but here as of late, struggling to find his game.
5 goals on 20 shots. In fact, the shots are even at 20. The difference, the Jackets have found the back of the net 5 times. 1 on a penalty shot. 4 minutes, 44 seconds left. Puck rifled in. Far side, that's Duncan Keith. Vermette. Keith steps in front. Dishes it off on the right side. Andrew Ladd out to center. Nash steps in front. Puck rolls off his stick. Huselius was there reaching for it. Duncan Keith walks back into his own end. On to Seabrook. Chicago had won the 4 previous games in the season series. And scored coming into tonight's game 18 goals in the previous 4 games.
You go back to last year, Jeff, the Jackets were 3-1-2 against this hockey team. This year, every game has been fairly close. And tonight, it is still far from over, people, because this team can explode as well as anybody. In that third period, this team has scored 69 goals, given up 56 for a difference of plus 13, and they will make sure that they open up the high-octane offense.
Here's Hossa. Defending is Russell. Hossa trying to walk to the net. Hossa deals sharp one. What a nice save there. In fact, we'll call it a sharp stop as he kicks out the right pad. Mason with that one labeled, able to kick it aside. 3.5 minutes left.
That hockey game, it looked like they had an empty net a couple of times, but he came up big, and tonight, well, he is put back into the net as Yue has struggled. We talked about the struggles in coming in tonight. Last time Yue played against the Philadelphia Flyers, he gave up 4 goals in that game. Philadelphia being able to come back and score late to be able to make that win. They want confidence in 2 goaltenders, but tonight they take another setback.
Well, based on what we've seen, I would think if the playoffs started tomorrow, and even though they're, what, a couple, 3 weeks away, Antti Niemi will likely be the starting goaltender come playoff time. Here. Play is called. And it is an icing call that will force play back into Columbus territory. Treat the family Saturdays. The Jackets face off against the New York Islanders at 7. It is Huntington Hat Night. Get a ticket, Sugardale Hot Dog, Pepsi, UDF ice cream coupon, and more, all for just $25 per person with a Dispatch Family Value Pack. You can buy your family pack right now at BlueJackets.com. Nice handsome hat. And you can have it, as everyone in attendance will get one here at Nationwide come Saturday night.
And I know you'll have 2 of them.
Only if you'll autograph one.
Done deal.
You got it.
It's a done deal. How about Mason? How about that last save that he makes, being able to pick it out into the netting? He has been sharp. Right now, 21-20 shots on goal in favor of the Chicago Blackhawks. It's a team right now, Chicago. They've outshot their opponent 62 times this year, first in the National Hockey League. And there's a team right behind them, and they've only outshot their opponents 43 times. That's the Detroit Red Wings. But here as of late, Chicago in the last 7 games have been outshot 5 times. And that's where Joel Quenneville has a concern. They need to tighten it up.
Brower bump, or rather that's Kopetsky. My apologies. Saved there by Mason. Chipped off the wall and out. Here's Nash in the offensive zone. Nash walks in. Niemi the save, rebound. And I believe it went off Seabrook and the netting. The faceoff will come as a result in Chicago territory.
Well, a nice indirect pass, and who's the recipient? It's Rick Nash, and there's the speed coming in. Ran out of space. The rebound comes right to the slot to Vermette. It went off of Seabrook, or else Antoine Vermette would have a career high in goals for a season with 25. A bullet dodge by the Chicago Blackhawks.
Niemi with another save. And how difficult is it coming off the bench, Bill, cold, knowing that, well, you thought you were going to get the night off, and here you are thrown in there with really no shots to kind of warm up.
Well, as a goaltender, you better be ready for all aspects, and knowing Antti Niemi has not been around the league that much, he'd be ready for anything.
Here, up high, Stroman. Stroman for Voracek. Puck sails wide. Tipped off the boards. Brower attempting to play it. Seabrook will. And the pass sent into Columbus territory as Klitzum hands it here to Stroman. Brower finishing the check. You'll remember Brower fought Stroman last time Chicago was here. And quite frankly, I don't think Stroman has played as well since that. Brouwer certainly picked on a player that does not drop the gloves under any circumstances, but he did that night. And pretty well in defense. Brouwer, of course, came back to score the game-winning goal in the shootout. Madden bumped there. Jackets send it up and out. Boyton, eager, off his skate, played in the zone here. It's Boyton, much travel, turns it over to Nash. Nash now looks, throws it in front, defending. Huselius gets to it, and again it's Niemi who will hold on. Well, once again, Fox Sports Ohio will feature an all-access telecast Saturday as the Blue Jackets face the New York Islanders. Special access to the Jackets locker room and coaching staff. Our popular Jackets Wired feature. A unique fan email interactive opportunity. And, of course, our intrepid host, John Michael, will take you backstage and behind the scenes at Nationwide on game night. It's an all-access night. It's this Saturday, and it's only on Fox Sports Ohio. John will have his sneakers on as he makes his way through every nook and cranny here at Nationwide.
You better bring a couple of shirts as well. Again, he gets going so fast. At the end of each period, he better be ready, just much like some of these players. Change the Under Armour and be ready for the next period.
Here in front, Paulson denied. Rebound, scores Andrew Murray, and it's 6-1 Columbus.
Well, there's a new sponsor in the building tonight. It's Morton Salt. When it rains, it pours. And right now, the Jackets have added their 6th goal on the night, their 4th here in the second period. And the 4th line coming in and chipping in. Nice job in and around that net. Shot being taken. Murray helping out. Paulson in and around the blue of the crease. Niemi giving up the rebound. And on that backside, not much support as Murray's able to find the back of the net. That's a huge goal with less than a minute to go in this second period.
19-11, the time of the goal. Murray's 3rd of the campaign. One more game left between these two teams, and that will be in Chicago Sunday night. We'll be joining you from the United Center. Huselius, Vermette, cross-ice pass for Nash. Failed. Here's Seabrook. Hossa through and across the line. Hossa bump. There's a hit. Kopetsky on Vermette, and that's a penalty. They're going to call it boarding. Kopetsky's headed to the box. The Jackets will go to the power play. Paulson draws the lone assist on the goal by Murray.
There's a guy that's played pretty well, and here's a look at that last penalty. In and around that board area. See Hossa working one-on-one with Russell, and there's the check. You have a player, and you see the numbers, you've got to stop. And Kopetsky right there, he takes advantage as a guy like Vermette starting to fall forward, just gives him that extra push. Vermette had time to be able to react, or we could have had an injury.
Niemi the save. Jackets on the power play. This is their 2nd of the night. They did not get a shot on their previous power play in the opening period. From the drop. That's Boyton with Yarmelson. Unable to pinch it in on that far wall. Where's Tootin, and that'll do it. Jackets power play will be carried over for a minute 46 into the 3rd period.
The energy certainly has been high in Nationwide Arena. It started early and it continued through 40 minutes of play. How about those 4 goals in the second period? We're going to have the highlights, and they are going to be fun to call.
So the Jackets outshoot Chicago 14-13 here in period number 2. And after 40 minutes, the Jackets lead 6-0.
It's his first assist in the last 10 games.
Incidentally, I mentioned as we went to break, Jackets 6 goals tonight, the most they've scored since the 24th of October at Anaheim. The Jackets salvaged the finale of a Western road trip late in October with a 6-4 win over the Ducks. Jackets have had a couple of 5-goal outbursts since. But they've got 6 through 40 minutes here. And this is Huselius. Back for Stralman. Cross ice pass. Jackets are on the power play as we begin the third period. Huselius tips it back. Getting a stick on it there is Madden, one of the premier defensive forwards and penalty killers in the league, and that's been the case for a long time.
And the Selke winner back in 2001.
Incidentally, the Hawks have gone back to Huey in goal. Jersey number 39 coming back on here in the third period. Now, he did not stay on the bench after being pulled, went right back to the dressing room. Well, Joel Quenneville has gone back to Huey here in the third period.
And I think that's smart. I really think that's smart. Again, when you have a coach like Joel Quenneville, who's been there before, yeah, they've had goaltending problems, goaltending issues. Now's the time to find and get this guy's game back in line. He's got to be able to focus now for 20 minutes. Here's Niemi, who's done an excellent job. We talked about the 10 shutouts that this team has had this year, and Niemi having 6 of them. But Huey has really struggled. And it was a question mark at the trade deadline that the Chicago Blackhawks did not address. Will it come back to haunt? We'll see.
Incidentally, Huey started 3 of the 4 games in the season series prior to tonight. He was 3-0 with a 2.61 goals against average. One of those wins was by a shutout. Fraser missing the mark. Far side Versteeg. It gets by him. Jackets. Antoine Vermette on to Voracek. Big Voracek, who scored on a penalty shot, and that is the first penalty shot goal for the Jackets. And look at that. Antoine Vermette has come back to make it a 7-1 hockey game, beating Huey for his second of the night and a career high goal number 25.
Well, you've got to give it to a guy like Vermette that showed the patience. He waited until he got that stick, but look at the speed right now of number 93 Voracek. Good play defensively to knock it off the stick, but finds himself in front of the net. Good triangle offensively, and he finds the 5-hole as Huey does not get back. As he moved to that stick side, he gets himself caught near the post, showing the emotion. This is where you've got to have a goaltender to get himself back on track again. For Matt, you just mentioned, Jeff, 25th of the campaign, which is a career high.
And that is a power play goal for the Jackets, which breaks a string of 0-4-21. And a season high, as we mentioned, from the start of this period. The Jackets' biggest offensive outburst prior to tonight, way back in October, where they scored 6 against Anaheim. Their 7 represents a season high. Duncan Keith throws it up the wing. Vermette from Brassard on the power play. Here's Fedor-Tutin along the boards. Clark on to Paulson, who's got a couple of assists tonight. Sammy Paulson with a shot that just sails wide. Chris Clark, 2 goals from the century mark. Andrew Murray circles the net. He's got one here tonight. Russell on to Mike Commodore, who opened the scoring with the game's first shot at the 32-second mark. Huey inadvertently put it into his own net. Went off his goal stick. Down is Mason, and he will hold on as we revisit tonight's Toyota keys. And boy, oh boy, you right on tonight with these keys, Bill.
Well, every key seemed to unlock a door, and that was to match the Hawks' pace in the checking. They've done that. Secure the special teams. Well, they just did. They scored a power play goal, and they've kept the Hawks off the board on their power plays. And then haunt Huey. Boy, have they ever haunted Huey here tonight. 7 goals on the board. They took Huey out midway through that second period. Throw him right back in this third period, and Vermette starts it off early.
Patrick Sharp, the point for Buffalo. Long shot, that was redirected and wide. Jarmelson in off the point, can't make a play. Patrick Sharp backing him up. Puck sent around the dasher. Hossa in pursuit, chips it back here for Buffalo. Oh boy, that went off Kopetsky. And off his helmet. Fortunately, He's all right as he stays in the play. Nash now pressuring Yarmulson. That's Kopetsky. Far side of the ice, Buffalo. Hossa. Tape to tape here to Patrick Sharp. Sharp pulls up, half wall. To the point for Buffalo. Lets one go. Save and holding on briefly to the rebound before it's chipped away by Kopetsky. Away goes Dorsett. Eric Dorsett down that left wing across the line. Turned around there by Buffalo. Played by Patrick Sharp. Sent off the wall. London. One-time Blackhawk sends in. And in pursuit as UA slides it right to Dorsett. Dorsett from a sharp angle. In front scores! Michael Blunden with his first ever National Hockey League goal. And the Jackets have a
Oh, good for Michael Blunden. Talked to him this morning. He said, I cannot wait to play this game tonight. He, Versteeg, and Bolin are buddies. He lived with the Big Buff when they were in Norfolk. But right there, good play by Dorsett, just directing it to the net. It's what they practiced yesterday. And for Mike Blunden, he finds the back of the net for the first time in his NHL career. And the Jackets have taken an 8-1 lead.
I hope someone was able to pick up that puck and retrieve it for really one of the great kids in the Jackets dressing room. Mike Blunden, his first NHL goal, and it comes against the team that he was with previously in the name of the Blackhawks. 8-1 Columbus. And listen to the crowd as they salute the hard-working Mike Blunden. Off the backboard, Voracek had it briefly. Derek Brassard. Voracek. And this is Andrew Ladd with a backhand pass, stepping up. Shot by Henry, and that's off the netting. No further play. Well, Antoine Jameson and the Cavaliers roll into the Lone Star State to shoot it out with Tim Duncan and the Spurs tomorrow at 8:30 on Fox Sports Ohio. How about the Cavs? They've won 8 straight. Last night being that 8th straight victory. They now lead East by 7 games, and they look for that home court advantage throughout the playoffs with their fine play. Look at the smile on the face of Mike Blunden. This one will be remembered for a long time.
He really couldn't wait for this game to start tonight. Claude Noel has led this team. Yeah, they're not going to be a playoff team, but he's led them to be able to think and focus on certain things. First of all, their own games. Second of all, play for the guys that you're with, and then focus on where this team needs to improve. And that tonight is one thing that the Jackets have not done all year. How about 8 goals in this hockey game?
Russell's going to get a penalty here. And Eager goes after Russell. Commodore steps in. Russell hit Taves, who had lost his helmet. And Commodore tied up there with Eager, who wanted to go after Russell.
Well, a couple of guys that know each other very well, and Jonathan Taves and Chris Russell. And here's a look at that last play and exactly what happened as Russell makes his way to the penalty box. There's the hit. I don't think it was all that bad. That stick was up behind Taves as he had one hand on the stick. Russell just making sure he's there, and they should even that up as Eager comes in and gives Russell a little bit of a shot. That's a retaliatory. Now, whether they give it to him or not, we'll have to see.
I don't believe they are. One penalty's up, and that's against Russell for boarding, so it will be a Chicago power play. And he's getting a double minor there for high sticking at 4:55.
We had to have drawn blood then. Joel Quenneville right now looking down the bench, just saying we've got to get better. The other night in Phoenix, it was one of those, it was a must win, was what Joel Quenneville said. And as a coach, having been there before, you don't want to stress that too many times. But it was a game against the Phoenix Coyotes. It was a 4-point game. What they're doing is they're forcing Taves to get off the ice because of the injury, and they're bringing him back on the ice. Need to be able to get that helmet fixed as well. So Patrick Sharp will come in and take Taves' spot.
Up high. This is Buffalo. Patrick Kane. Puck in the corner. There's a shot by Kane, and it sailed high and wide. Hossa hands it here to Kane. Right back for Hossa. At the goal line. Patrick Sharp throws it in front. Goes across the goal mouth. Mason gets a piece of it. The puck does not cross the line, and finally it does. The referee points. The goal red light goes on, and they're going to call it a goal. After initially waving it off, the puck continued to bounce in that goal mouth, and the power play goal gives the Hawks their second, and they'll go to the second of the double minors to Russell.
Kopecky does a nice job down in front of that net, but then it's Sharp. Very simple little play directing it to the net. And for Patrick Sharp, that's goal number 23. 4 goals and 3 assists in the last 8 games for number 10. And they add one more to the shot there for the tally right now to make it 2 goals on the night for the Hawks. And they're going to continue to peck away on the power play.
So, Sharp with his 23rd at 5:16, power play goal. It's the 4th power play goal the Jackets have given up in the last 2 games.
That's 6 in the last 6 games overall, Jeff.
Now the Jackets have fallen to 17th on the penalty kill coming into tonight's contest. They've been hovering around 7, 8, 9 most of the year. Hossa back for Buffalo. Nash reaching for it. And a fight off Kane. There's Kopecky. And the stick on it was Mar.25. Sharp from Kane and Kopecky at 5:16. Nash attempts to clear. Second effort gets it out. That's Vermette. He and Huselius each with a pair tonight. Vermette sweeps it behind the net. Huey out. And it's left there for Hossa. 6 minutes plus gone. 3rd period. Down to 1:10 in the double minor. For Russell. Kane up high, shot there, rebound, second attempt sails wide. Caves had that first shot, second one went wide. Commodore steps in front. Commodore clears the zone. Commodore from center, hit by Hossa, but dumps into the Chicago end.
One thing that the Jackets better be aware of for the rest of this game, and then again Sunday afternoon, every time that Patrick Kane has the puck, he is dangerous. You've got to close the gap on him early as he begins to cross the line. He's always looking to make the pass.
Well, Kane, 5 points in the previous 4 games. He's got an assist here tonight. And Kane with 19, make that 20 points now in 19 games against Columbus, including tonight's contest. Andrew Murray sends ahead, knocked down, but gets right back up. Seabrook got a piece of him. 20 seconds remain in the Russell double minor. Now they've changed the goal. Sharp now not credited with it, but Kopecky is, and he may have reached in for it with that scramble in front. It was the original shot by Patrick Sharp. Here, another attempt, and Mason down, and he'll cover up with 12:43 remaining. We'll step aside. 8-2, Jackets lead.
Safe to assume, Jeff, when you look at the top 4, again, it's going to remain right where it's at. 7 points separating Phoenix and LA, and that's where now things begin to change. You look at LA, Colorado, Nashville, and Detroit, how they will mix up, where they finish up. The Detroit Red Wings are looking at that 5th spot. They want to continue to play well as they move on. But right now, 1 through 4 will stay right where it's at.
Puck played by Klitzum, center on the boards. Incidentally, the goals for the Jackets, 8 tonight. Ties the most they've ever scored in a game. You recall last season, Jackets had 8 at Detroit in an 8-2 win. And it surpasses the previous high of 7 goals in a home game set in 2006. February the 8th against Los Angeles. It was a 7-4 win that night. It's Huntington Hat Night Saturday. The Jackets host the New York Islanders at 7. All fans receive a hat courtesy of Huntington Bank. Great seats are still available. You can buy yours now at BlueJackets.com. Hope to see you here Saturday night. Jonathan Toews makes his first ever appearance with the Islanders, the #1 overall pick. And at one time, Toews mentioned in the same breath as a Gretzky and a Crosby.
Jonathan Tavares. Jonathan Tavares is, again, one of the best. And again, he is a guy. Yeah, the skating's not there, but you know what? You put Tavares in and around the blue of the crease, Jeff. That's why he's got over 20 goals right now in his rookie season.
Boy, Tavares had a bit of a slump. Scored recently to kind of get off the schneid. He went quite a distance without scoring a goal. But boy, he is something to see. He's got size. He can skate, and he can certainly shoot the puck, as Madden does right there. Puck sent down the ice. Here, Jarmelson gets a stick on it, and it's an icing call with 11:38 remaining. Once again, Fox Sports Ohio will feature all-access telecast Saturday as the Blue Jackets face the New York Islanders. Special access to the Jackets locker room and coaching staff. Our popular Jackets Wired feature, a unique email that you can certainly interactive with us come Saturday. And, of course, our intrepid host, John Michael, will take you backstage and behind the scenes at Nationwide on game night. All access this Saturday only on Fox Sports Ohio. Puck dumped in, and in pursuit there is Henry. 11.5 minutes remaining. Left wing pass. Kopetsky now credited with that second goal. Shot by Sharp. Rebound. Vermette will play it. Antoine Vermette able to sweep it out. He and Huselius each with a pair of goals, and they're out there right now with Rick Nash of the 8. Incredibly, Nash, who scored more goals against Chicago than anybody else since the 01-02 season. Nash has not picked up one here tonight.
No, it's unbelievable. But
still time, though.
No, there is time. But I think right now the Jackets are looking at trying to be content, play a good defensive game, get the puck behind the defense of the Chicago Blackhawks, and then continue to forecheck. The one thing that Claude Noel said this morning, the checking has to be its best. The legs have to be moving. They've got to set the pace. And that's what Commodore did 32 seconds into this game tonight.
Jackets have been outshot 35-29. The 8 goals have come on 29 shots. London on for Dorsett. Van Eager, left wing to center. Ends it by Strawman. Puck played by Klitzum off the wall. Eager throws it up high to Seabrook. Handed to Duncan Keith. Traffic in front of Mason. Down and attempting to get to it there was Adam Burish, but Mason holds on. Well, before the Jackets hit the ice, get ready to carry the flag on Blue Jackets Live on Fox Sports Ohio. Blue Jackets Live brought to you by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers.
Well, there's one of the stars of the game, one you'll always remember, R.J. Umberger, another. He collected an assist on that first goal by Commodore in period number 1, but for Mike Blennon, his first ever career goal. And tonight it's been a cast of others. The pack mentality comes through not only in the physical play, but everybody helping out in the goals and assist department as well.
Reaching for it there is Andrew Murray. Murray pressuring against Kane. Kane gets the puck at center. Steps in and across the line. Hands there to Taves. Jonathan Taves ridden off in the play. Chris Clark on for Tootin. Andrew Ladd gets it there to Kane, who's knocked off the puck. Henry, traffic again in front. Falling in front of it there was Mathot, able to steer it aside. Murray, left wing, knocked down. It's out to center. Boynton, left for Henry. Kane steps across the line. Patrick Kane pressured. Huselius. Vermette. Huselius hands it there to Kane, who lifted high and out. Russell with Versteeg in pursuit. Commodore. Russell at center. Away from John Madden. Dumped in. Jarmelson. Back for Chicago. 8 minutes, 52 seconds left. Dustin Byfuglien. Long lead pass there for Hossa. Played it off the wall, albeit briefly. Now Mason steers for Russell. Madden got a stick on it. Versteeg fought off by Vermette. Nash now with Commodore, who slips and falls. Nash back to play it. And this is Strawman. Versteeg drops it for Hossa. Squeezed out along the wall by Strawman and Nash. Commodore rips it off the wall. Henry left point. Henry. Kopetsky. That one almost hit the official, Justin St. Pierre. Shot from the wing. Strawman blocks it in front of Mason, and then quickly sends it off to Nasher and back into Chicago territory. Nick Boynton gets there ahead of the fast-charging Broussard. Ben Eager, right wing feed for Patrick Sharp. Klitzum sends ahead. That's R.J. Umberger. Umberger backhands it out of the zone. Troy Brouwer on to Eager. Eager across the line, wrists it wide, flicks him back. He'll play it. Eager finishing a check. Voracek chops it ahead, but not out. Kopetsky, Sharp in front. Pad save. Rebound swept away by Strowman. Right back on it on the Hawks. Here drilled and steered aside with a pad save. Kopetsky had it taken away by Jake Voracek. And now Voracek, who scored a penalty shot goal here tonight, on to R.J. Umberger. Umberger looking for the return feed, but Duncan Keith breaks it up for Chicago.
Well, right idea. Voracek trying to break to that net. Umberger trying to lay it across the stick, but to no avail.
Andrew Ladd across the line. Andrew Murray defending. Tootin rips it off the wall. Hawks content here right now on sending it down low and try to create some offense on the forecheck. Clark takes a high stick from Andrew Ladd, says something to the official, to no avail. This one will be touched up and it's icing. Blue Jacket fans, we the good folks at GetGo want you to be part of tonight's Blue Jackets Live postgame. Text in your comments. We'll display them throughout Blue Jackets Live. Text the keyword TV. Text your comments to 37664. Your chance to be part of the show. Message and data rates may apply. Chris Clark still upset after taking the high stick and pointing at the side of the face where he took it.
Well, he should. He's got a legitimate argument and continues to shake his head. And he had a little conversation with Mike Lego as he was going to the bench, but Mike Lego, smart enough, turns the cheek, skates away.
Brett Seabrook hit there by Blunden. Puck sent out of the zone. That's Fraser. Following up and dumps in before racing off to the bench. Less than 6.5 minutes left. The outlet pass, Dorson unable to steer it ahead. Yarmulson's on it for Chicago. Long lead pass on the wing for Hossa. Jackets again touch up, and another icing call against Chicago.
Well, right now in the third period, the Jackets have a couple of goals. Kopetsky at the other side has a goal. Claude Noel has to be happy with what has gone on in the scoreboard. Here in the third period, though, they're being outshot 14-4. You know the Chicago Blackhawks weren't going to give up. They've continued to put a few shots at Mason, who has played very well and controlled the rebounds tonight, Jeff, better than he has in the past.
Jackets have provided him some offense here tonight. Versteeg, shot by Yarmulson, pad save, rebound, and away goes Nash with Umberger and Huselius. R.J. Umberger dropped there for Russell, and he drilled it wide, went off the heel of the stick. Nash spins and turns, and Huey forced to make a stop. Almost in the identical place where Commodore was able to find the back of the net from at the 32-second mark of the opening period.
That's what they practiced yesterday. Shoot from every angle.
Here's Umberger walking in, and Huey hugs that near post. Fetter Tootin. Here. Puck played. Patrick Sharp. Eager. Blocked in front. Eager going after the rebound. Fetter Tootin. Bumping Kopetsky as we approach the 15-minute mark. To the point, Henry. Henry winds up. That one's deflected wide. Jackets able to block it up high. From the right wing boards at a sharp angle. It sails all the way back here to the point. Teams are at full strength. Jackets finally able to clear. Fanning on it there is Boyd, who gets a second attempt on to Sharp. Patrick Sharp chips it by Broussard and races off. In the corner, Ladd bumped by Tootin. Fraser reaching for it. Played Versteeg. Here's Keith. Keith wrists it in. Traffic in front. Penalty upcoming here to Tootin. Wraparound attempt, and it finds the back of the net on a delayed penalty, and the Hawks have 3.
That may be Burge down in and around that blue of the crease. It's one you've got to be able to contain. That puck being forced down in front of the net. And here's a little look. And watch the log jam in front of the net with Columbus Blue Jacket players. And you have support. Good job right there by Tootin trying to clean the house. He does a nice job. But there's Voracek. 4 guys standing right there as Fraser forces it. Let's just see if it goes off of Burge. And I think it does. It ends up going off the skate. The Strawman, instead of getting the stick and the body, well, Burrish ends up coming up with the goal. And for Burrish, that is goal number, well, that's his first of the campaign in his 8th game here tonight.
Yeah, he came back from knee surgery. And they are, we understand, reviewing the goal here right now to see if there was a distinct kicking motion. But that was more of a deflection than anything else. That goal should stand. Let's take another look at it here from the overhead. But
you at home, you can also be the official on this one. Again, Fraser just trying to force it. If Mason's able to get it off the stick, it then goes off of that back skate of Adam Burrish. And you talked about Burrish just coming back. Burrish had that knee injury and had the knee rebuilt. And he is something of a little bit of a fire plug for this team. Former captain of the University of Wisconsin, where they won a national championship. And he shows up each and every night. He and Dorsett, the same mold player.
Now they continue to look at this one. And I'd like to see this one more time here from the overhead, because you know what? It may not have even hit Burrish. It may have been Strawman. Take a look here once more, Bill, and watch Strawman. So there's Burrish's front foot. Now Strawman's skate and Burrish both involved.
Yeah, that's very difficult to tell. Give it to the kid, Burrish. Give it to him. He was around there. He paid the price. Do a nice job. Claude Noel this week, and after that game in New Jersey the other night, they had a great first period. They played hard. The second and third period, very undisciplined. And the question was asked this morning, how do you get your team up? And they talked about individuals. They talked about playing as a team. But the other thing, we as a team now are targeting new things. We're not a playoff team right now, and what we need to do is to learn each day. There's a lesson to be learned every day. There's something that has to be gained in playing this game tonight. And tonight's emphasis was pace, and it was management. And that's exactly what the Jackets have been able to do since the drop of the puck tonight.
After further review, it was determined that the puck was not kicked in. Therefore, the ruling on the ice stands. Good goal.
Well, that coming from Justin St. Pierre, and as we said here a couple minutes back, it should be a good goal, and indeed it is. So the Hawks have their third, and it should be credited to Burrish. We'll wait for it officially. 8-3 with 4:20 now remaining. Hawks. Ladd upping Strawman. Huselius to the backhand. Henry. Or check that. That is Duncan Keith on to Seabrook, right wing. Burrish turned aside. Nash for Columbus. Vermette. Huselius sends ahead. Puck bouncing. And indeed, Burrish gets credit for it. His first of the season. Coming back after knee surgery. Colin Fraser and Ladd draw the assists.
Burrish from Fraser and Ladd. Time of the goal, 15:34.
Mason's out of the net. Keeps it away from Versteeg. Madden, Versteeg. Last ice Boynton. Wrist shot. Wide of Mason. Played off the backboard here along the near boards. Versteeg. Cycling out of the corner. Jose to the point. Henry knocked down in front. All kinds of traffic here. And that's the MO here right now by the Hawks. Create as much traffic in front, Bill, of Mason as they can.
And what they do, they move the puck from low to high, go D to D, stretch them out a little bit, and as you mentioned, get support down in front of the net, look for tips or rebounds.
Less than 3 minutes left. Same two teams from the United Center in Chicago to end the season series. Mike Blunden with a hard hit there on Henry. Jake Voracek. Commodore. Last three players that we mentioned have all picked up single goals here tonight. Voracek's coming on a penalty shot. Blunden is first in the NHL, and it was Commodore with the first goal of the hockey game 32 seconds in.
Since that point right now, I know Claude Noel will allow two players to get back on the ice at least one more time, and that's Huselius and Vermette. who are looking for hat tricks.
Eager. On the wall, Nash is there. Nash. On the Voracek. Right back to Nash. He'll play it off the wall. Yarmelson takes him to the corner. Played there. Dustin Bufflin on the far side. Voracek pressures. Puck comes in front. UA down. He'll cover up with 2:01 remaining. Jackets lead 8-3. And look at the smile on the face of Blunden.
It's been a game of speed. It's been a game of pace. It has been a game of energy. From the drop of the puck tonight, the Jackets gained control on a goal by Mike Commodore, his first, and it's ended with the 8th goal here tonight by the Jackets. Mike Blunden, his first of the year.
Blunden almost had his second as he was in the slot. UA got enough to steer it aside. Here juggles the puck. Loose puck in front. Fraser plays it on the far side with the pressure coming from Blunden again. Ladd chops to the corner. Fraser bumped by Broussard. Blunden on the steal. A night that Mike Blunden will long remember here. Voracek trying to feed Blunden in front. Voracek follows it up and roofs it. High glove side. Boyton chips it off the wall. Kept in by Klitzen. Second effort. Hawks get it out. A little more than a minute left. Voracek slides it deep. UA out. And it's left there for Boyton. Off the wall at center. Murray chops ahead.
1 minute to play.
Final minute of play. No icing here. Mason will play it. And it's left for Chris Russell. The crowd that remains saluting the Jackets for their biggest offensive outburst of the season. Commodore from center. Sent in. Moved by Bufflin off the wall. Versteeg steers ahead. Final second in the game. Russell camped behind Mason. Seconds tick off. This is Commodore. Broussard, left wing, Andrew Murray. Murray fires high and wide of UA. Playing right wing there by Dorsett. Dump back behind. Broussard looks for Murray. Bufflin with the intercept. Bufflin on for Fraser. And that will do it. The Jackets defeat the Chicago Blackhawks and deny the Hawks on this night of a 100-point season. They are stuck on 99.
Well, the Jackets did their job. They gave the fans right from the drop of the puck something to cheer for. It continued on for 60 minutes tonight. And for the highest output this season, the Jackets put 8 on the board and walk away with an 8-3 victory.
We'll be back. Hawks outshoot the Jackets 41-32. But on the board, the Jackets win 8-3.